I would like to welcome you guys to Okita. This show is dedicated to spirituality, self love, healing trauma, and finding one's purpose. Now, today I would like to talk to you guys about the calling, what is considered your greater purpose, the concept of what a calling is, also recognizing the signs of your calling, overcoming challenges and the resistance that comes with following your calling, and kind of introduce you to Okita. Now, your calling is always a sense of something that is meant for you to do. It is unique to your destiny, and you can't run from it. You can't hide from it. I actually heard someone talking about that when you have a calling from God, it is something that you can't hide from. It is also something that is embedded in you, and it almost feels like it's impossible to accomplish. One of the best examples that I can give of someone that uh, followed their calling would be the story of Maya Angelou. And she had became a mute after 8 years, for 8 years after revealing that her mother's boyfriend had raped her, and he was convicted and sent to prison. And after he was released from prison, he was murdered. And she thought that her voice was the reason why he was murdered. So after that, she became a mute. She did not speak for 8 years. And it took for her to meet her teacher, Miss Flowers, who eventually got her to get more into literature and opening up her mind to poetry and reading. And she eventually started to speak up and put it in her writing and her poetry. And she became a phenomenal woman, and she will always be remembered as a great poet and a great woman. Everyone has a unique calling, and some people ignore it, and some it takes time, but everybody has a unique calling. It took me almost an entire year for me to reformat what I felt Okita should have been into what God is actually calling me to do with Okita. And so it actually took a lot for me to get to this point where I am right now. So I'm very excited to go on this journey with you guys and not be a scaredy cat and kind of just see where it takes me. You know what I'm saying? So you must think that some people's callings they are prolonged when you don't do the things that the universe is calling you to do. So if you're not following the signs and really diving into what it is that you feel you should do, you will go on a million trillion detours until you actually do it. And so it's very important that you embrace your calling. And some examples of that would be, for me, it's always been talking about things I've been through to inspire people. So there's many ways that I feel like I prolonged me getting to the point where I can actually speak to people about the things that I've been through and know that it was not my story, but it is chapters in my story that makes me unique and gives me the strength and power to be able to speak to you guys about the things that I've been through. Um, but I had to let go of a lot of people and places and stop doing a lot of the stuff I used to do and really be serious about, do I want to keep living the same way and doing the same things and kind of living in a cycle of not happiness, so it's very important that sometimes you got to let those things go. I had to let go of not like-minded people. So when you share a dream or something that you want to accomplish and they're like, you can't do that, or what make you think that that's possible, or girl, just sit down, be quiet. You know what I'm saying? So if you got them type of people around you that can't even see the vision of where you're going, then you might not want to have those people around you. I had to change my atmosphere and stop asking for advice from people, and start seeking for that advice within myself, and ask, really be true and honest with myself of where do I want to go? What am I trying to see? What are the changes that I'm trying to make? And ask myself, does this make sense? Is this gonna get me where I'm trying to go? If not, then I need to change it. You don't have to ask a million trillion pieces. Oh, am I doing the right thing? Am I going the right places? You should know that. And if you don't, ask yourself and you will get an answer. I had to stop being angry at the things that I couldn't control. Like, if, you know what I'm saying, I'm going right and you going left, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? See you from over there. But if it's calling, if it's in your soul and your heart to do something, you need to do what you have to do, no matter what anybody else do. And you can't be angry because somebody else decides to do other things. You know what I'm saying? And also, trust your gut feeling. If you have a feeling in your heart and your soul that this is something that you need to do, it's probably something that you need to do. If you have a gut feeling in your heart and soul that it's time to let something go, you probably should let it go, because the biggest fear is, the greatest thing that can cause you not to accomplish the things that you want is not trying something new just because you've never tried it. That one thing that you try new can open up millions of opportunities for you to accomplish things that you thought you had no handle on, that they were so far out that how can I make this happen myself when I don't have those connections, or not the equipment, or maybe not even have just the resources. But if you search within yourself and ask those questions, eventually it's gonna come. That's Miss Kitty in the background, so one day y'all probably meet her, but she's meowing. Recognizing your calling. You just take notice to your dreams. I have these vivid dreams all of the time of the different things that I should be doing in my life, or just meeting people that feel so surreal. So I write down my dreams sometimes, and sometimes as soon as I wake up, I just try to decipher them before I forget them. And so I really truly believe that if you listen to your dreams, it will tell you. They say only God sends you dreams. So anytime that you have a dream, even if you feel like it's a nightmare, like it's something bad, it's never the devil. It's God giving you some type of vision. So you always need to take the lead about the choices that you make. Listen to those signs and try to follow through as much as possible. Especially those signs of like coincidences or synchronicities of like right place, right time, like something just falls in your lap. And most of the time we think if something like that happens, it's too good to be true. And just like bad things happen, good things happen, and we should accept those good things in our life and know that if it's too good to be true, it's too good and it's too true. So you should accept it, you know? And sometimes we ignore them, and this is something that I said before. Sometimes we ignore them because we absolutely think that good things don't supposed to happen to us. But it's very important that you listen to your intuition and you pay attention to these signs from the universe because they're here and they're for your greater good. So most of the time when you ignore these things, that's how you repeat this cycle because you haven't learned the lesson, or most times you're just not getting that hint, that thing that's going to click for you to start a new path. So you loop around into the same path ultimately. And I wouldn't say you miss your calling, but you're missing the signs from the universe that are there to tell you that, hey, you're better than this, you're bigger than this. It's time to move into a better direction. Overcoming challenges and resistance. So one of the biggest things to overcome is self-doubt. Doubting yourself, fears of failure. You might not personally know anyone that's striving towards your goals. So sometimes that's a hard thing. I just want to go back to self-doubt. You might doubt yourself that it's even possible. Like for me, I never wanted to be a person to speak to people. I always thought, what do I gotta say to people? Because I feel like just like you're your own angel, you're your own demon or your own devil. So it's like, what do I fully have to offer to help other people if I'm striving and trying to still figure out life myself? But that's the biggest thing. If you can overcome obstacles and, still be resilient and become more of like a survivor than a victim of your situation or your circumstances, then you are the perfect person to speak to people. So there is a lot of people that influence me and that I look up to, that they are not on big, great platforms, but they are very inspirational beings. And so I look towards those people and try not to do so much of like, kind of feeling like I could do those things too. Worrying about what others think. You should not worry about what others think because everybody has an opinion. Most times, for me, nobody really tells me exactly how they feel, or I just feel energy. I'm big on energy. I know if you know what I'm saying, if you got an attitude, if you are really happy, like you could just feel that in somebody. You could feel like their glow from the inside out. You could feel their evil deities from the inside out. You can feel jealousy from the inside out. So you kind of like radiate your aura, and I feel it. So if you ever think you're getting away with something, just know I know. Fear of leaving people behind and not being able to have those people with you. And sometimes being afraid to lose people or not have those friends or family supporting you, you got to think 9 out of 10, you're the only person. If it is something that you are called to do, or is it a gift that is specific to you, and there is nobody else really around that is trying to accomplish those things or do those things that you, or even can see that vision, it's okay. It's okay. We all go through it in some way or form where somebody's not going to understand you, or, most times you just got to block it out. I mean, that's the only way to get through it, is like you have to block it out. You have to believe that your vision is bigger than anything that anybody could say or think, because most of the time we're afraid of losing what we know for something of the unknown. And most of the time, the thing of the unknown is something that will help you master your craft and push you into the right direction. So my best advice for overcoming self-doubt is to keep going. Prayer and meditation. For years, I just prayed, Lord, please, please, please. But it does not work if you're just asking and you're not putting in work, or you're not making those changes to make this prayer come true. Because you can just pray, pray, pray all day, because God's going to listen. But if you ain't meeting him halfway, you're not going to get what you expect. And so it is important that you explore this calling. I write a lot. I self-reflect. In my little office space, I have affirmations that I write, and I read them, and they help me. It is very important that you do self-reflection, writing. If that's writing, if that's getting into nature, but doing shadow work, which I do want to get into in further episodes. Shadow work is very, very important when you're going on your spiritual journey. And most of the time, going through the dark night of the soul is not an option. It's going to happen. And when it does, you want to have those tools and that guidance to be like, it's going to be okay. So I did a lot of research. And sometimes you can't research it. When you do the meditation, I'm telling you, you're going to get a lot of answers. Even stuff you don't want to know. But it's important that you know that you have that intuition and those kind of like, it's just like a reassurance that you're going in the right direction. And that's what this is all about. Like, this is your calling. So when you know, you know. And if you're unsure, that's probably it. But like I said, when I first started this, and this is not even just now, it's like my entire life. Everybody's like, oh, you should help people. You should speak to people. I just want to live. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I never really truly was like, this is what I want to do. Within the past 2 years, I really got to pursue. I did that whole praying to God thing. And then I got to the point where I had to stop praying. I had to do. And once I started doing, I got to actually tap into what I always felt like I wanted to do. And that was music. I always felt like, oh my God, I want to do music. Since I was 3 years old, this is always been my dream, is to pursue music. And so God said, I'm going to let you pursue music. So then once I pursued music, he said, okay, now it's time to do what I want you to do. And I'm like, I couldn't say no, because look at me now. But I couldn't say no. So now I'm doing what you said, guys. Okay? And I know I stopped looking for cookies. That's another big thing. You have to stop looking for cookies. That you're not going to always get no cookies. Sometimes you going to even get to see the cookie jar. It ain't going to be nothing but crumbs in it. And you still got to do the work. Even if there's no sight of a cookie. Because for so long I was like, I ain't doing nothing until I get my reward. But if you ain't achieved nothing, what you looking for? All right, y'all. Sorry, I cracked myself up. But in some cases, people think that it happens overnight, your calling, but in the most part, it does not. You can absolutely find your calling, but you have to start pursuing and understanding the concept of what a calling is, and that we all have one. Recognizing the signs, including listening to your intuition for the guidance and paying attention to these signs, because my biggest one is I have birds and angel numbers around me. I always have angel numbers, and most of the time I don't look for it. They just pop up and I notice them. So, overcoming those challenges and resistance, overcoming the fear of failure and self-doubt, embracing your journey and knowing that it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be a lot of days where it feel like it's not. You're gonna want to give up. Take some time to yourself. It's okay to take a break, sit back, pull it all together again. But just know that once it starts, it won't stop. You're gonna keep getting those signs. You're gonna keep needing to refresh and reflect and do self-discovery. And it's okay. Write it down, meditate, do whatever you need in good habits. Not the things like drinking and smoking and going partying and, you know, all those other things that we use as fillers are not the things that's going to make it better. So, just letting you know. You can try it if you like, but when it's all said and done, come back and watch this video again. So, yeah, embrace your journey and take those steps to fulfillment and self-reflect and be positive. Speak life, you know. The biggest thing is you're your own biggest critic. So be nice to yourself, you know. Be nice. All right. I think I'm wrapping this thing up a little bit. I would like to thank everybody for watching. I would like to thank all my supporters, including my daughters and my husband. I would like to thank them. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification button so that you're getting these videos that I'm coming out with every week. I do not have a set time, but I will because I know that is important. So please hit that like button, hit that notification button so that you guys know when my next video is coming out. And also, I would like to end this with a question. So have you experienced a moment where you felt like you had a calling? If so, and you want to share a little bit, please put that down in the comments. And also, I do read comments, so next week, maybe the first 5 minutes, I'll kind of scroll through, pick a couple comments and talk about them. If not, I'll talk a little bit more about my calling and kind of get you guys to go back to that video if you have not seen this video. So I would love to leave you guys with some words of wisdom. You only fail when you do not try. You only fail when you do not try. So share, like, comment, and join us next week for a brand new topic that intertwines with spirituality, self-love, healing traumas, and purpose. This is Okita. Okita.